Buying a new home can be exciting, and it's tempting to grab the first house you fall in love with. But exercising a little patience will go a long way toward turning your purchase into a haven instead of a headache. Main point number 1. Renovation potential. List number 1. Don't overestimate your abilities. Determine if the house you like needs work. Then assess whether you're really capable of doing it. Also consider whether the home has an extra room if you're planning to redo several parts of it. That way you can close off one room at a time, do what you have to do in that, move somebody into there, then close off another room. List number 2. Don't overestimate the potential. Figure out whether the renovations are worth the time and expense. Make sure that if you can't do the work, you get estimates before you buy the house so you know what you're getting into. If the cost of the house plus the renovations will put the home's value significantly above others in the neighborhood, it's probably not the best investment, or you may need to scale back the renovations. List number 3. Think twice if the kitchen needs renovating. Unlike most other rooms in a house, you won't have a spare kitchen to use while yours is under construction. If the kitchen only needs new countertops, that's fine. But if you're planning to move in and tackle a major kitchen renovation while living there, you might want to reconsider. Is your family really going to be okay with closing it off and eating takeout for a couple of months? List number 4. Delve beyond the obvious. Buyers tend to be romanced by pretty and clean, but you're not buying pretty and clean. Pretend you're living there. Try out everything in the house, flush the toilets, turn on the lights, climb the attic stairs, check water flow in sinks and showers, imagine the steps you'd take, and counter space you'd use when cooking a meal, and try to fit your cars in the garage. These little things that buyers tend to skip are the ones that will irk you on a daily basis. List number 5. Hire an inspector. A lot of buyers sort of blow it off. It's just one of those expenses they have to satisfy their lender. But in reality, a good inspection can uncover reasons you absolutely should not buy that house, such as structural problems with the foundation. Secondarily, a good inspection can tell you what the major problems are behind the walls. Most home buyers look at what they can see. An inspector's job is to look at what they can't see: condition of the roof, if there's insulation, etc. Clarify that your contract to buy the house is contingent on a satisfactory inspection, then view the inspector's report as an opportunity to go back and renegotiate the price. List number 6. Look up. Yes. Up there. People tend to look at floors and walls, but it doesn't occur to buyers very often to look up at the ceiling. The ceiling can tell you whether the home has had water damage, which isn't necessarily a deal killer but is another thing for the inspector to check. List number 7. Ask the current owners for a year's worth of utility bills. That's the easiest way to check the energy use of the house, how much it costs to heat in the winter and cool in the summer. There's a price for each buyer at which a less energy efficient house may be worth it, especially if you can do things to make it more energy efficient. List number 8. Think long term. Americans move, on average, every 6 years, but look to stay in the house for 15 years, it's a big thing to consider. The kids are little now, so you may need a playroom. But where will you put them as they grow up so you won't hear their stereos? If you're older, think about stairs and the ways the house can be adapted if you get a little less mobile. Main point number 2. Size and storage. List number 1. Is the house big enough for the unexpected? If you're a couple with one child, you may think all you need is a 2-bedroom house. But you may decide to have another child or discover you need one of those bedrooms for a home office. Buy with the anticipation of growth. List number 2. Will your furniture fit? Measure your largest pieces of furniture, including height, for items like entertainment armoires, then bring along a tape measure while house hunting so you can verify that everything will fit. If you love the house but the armoire is too tall, weigh foregoing the home against the possibility of finding a new arrangement for your TV and stereo. List number 3. Don't forget your non-furniture needs. Running out of storage room is one of the principal reasons people buy new houses. They wind up needing more closet space, more garage space. Yet when buyers are house hunting, they tend to forget all the belongings they've crammed in their attics, basements, garages, and sheds. Ask yourself, where will my golf clubs go? Where will I store the suitcases? Take a tape measure and estimate the linear feet of closets you have, and think about how much storage space you need. Then, see how that maps out with how much the new house offers. List number 4. Don't forget the garage. If you see the houses that was built in 1956, cars were smaller then. You can't get today's Texas-size SUVs into that old houses. Ensure that whatever you want to store in the garage will fit. Main point number 3. The neighborhood. List number 1. Proximity. If you're used to talking with neighbors over the fence, walking together for exercise, or meeting at the local coffee shop, see if your new neighborhood will offer the same. Be sure that dream house on an acre or two isn't like a desert island where you have to drive to see anyone. On the other hand, if you're a more solitary person, ensure that the home has enough space between you and your neighbors for your comfort level. Is the house close to the places that are most important to you? Scout out the nearest grocery store, gas station, school, and place of worship, not to mention learning how far the house is from your workplace. Will it bother you to drive 15 miles to get to your favorite bookstore? List number 2. Surroundings. Study other homes in the neighborhood. If you want your property values to go up, it's better to buy the worst house in a great neighborhood and improve it than to choose the best house on the block. If the neighborhood has plenty of homes for sale, it could be on the decline. Do you see signs of renovation? That can indicate that people are committed to the area, which gives a better chance for property values to increase. If you have small kids, do you see pools or bikes or swing sets in lots of other yards? That might mean your kids will have new friends nearby. Do you see cars on blocks in several driveways or yards, or old appliances and other junk behind fences at nearby houses? That's often a sign of homeowners who don't care about curb appeal, and it could be an indication of a neighborhood that's losing value. List number 3. People. A surprising study by Harvard political scientist Robert Putnam found that the more you have in common with your neighbors, the more likely everyone is to feel a connection to the community. That's important when neighbors want to rally to oppose a new, nearby big box store. It's wise to discover what's important to most of your neighbors. In some neighborhoods, for instance, the church is the main gathering place, and you might feel left out if you're not part of that.